Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. So today we will discuss about the remaining topic of chapter number 6, that is food and our health. So in the previous lecture we discussed about the main nutrients that are present in our food, that are the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. And we also discussed, and along with these main nutrients that our body required, there are two other things by which our body can't live. So first one is the water, and the second one is the roughage that is present in the vegetables and fruits. And this roughage helps our body to get rid of the indigested food. So along with carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, our body also requires the water and roughage as the main nutrients in our body to keep healthy. So let's start our today's lecture. And first of all, in today's lecture we will discuss about some healthy eating habits. So here we go. This page number is 33. So eating food is however not enough. We have to follow some rules while eating to be healthy. So rule number 1 is food should be washed, cooked and preserved properly so that we get all its nutrients. So you know that the washing of food is very necessary, because as we know that in the fields they farmers use different kind of insecticides, pesticides, fertilizers. And they are also attached to the fruits and vegetables, and when they carry out from the farms they contains that chemicals onto them. Moreover, when they are placed in the shops, so there is a lot of germs there, as well as the dust. So washing is very important for the vegetables as well as for the fruits that we buy from the market. Second one that is necessary is the cooking, that we should cook in such a way that the nutrients should be preserved in the vegetables, especially that in the Asian countries the overcooking is very famous because it increases the taste of the food. But we should remember that the overcooking increase the taste, but it decrease the number of nutrients that are present in the vegetables. So the cooking should be done at the proper level, but the food should not be overcooked to save the nutrients present in it. And the preservation is very important, and most important is the period of preservation, that we preserve the food, and we eat the preserved food for the whole year, especially on Eid, that we store the meat. So the preservation is very important, the method that you adopt to preserve your food, and the time period. So time period should be focused. You can be preserved the food, but not for a long time. So the second rule is that fruits eaten raw should be properly washed to get rid of germs and dust. This is the same thing, that if you eat the raw fruits, so they should be properly washed so that the germs may be get off from it, and dust also. The third rule is that food should be cooked with care so that its nutrients are not lost. The same thing, that the food should not be overcooked. You can cook the food up to a proper level where its nutrients should be remain in it, not vanish. And overcooking destroys several nutrients. And the fourth rule is cooking in too much water and then throwing away the water makes food lose nutrients. And this is a very important rule, that if you are cooking the food, then pour such as water that can be consumed, or pour the water up to that level that should be consumed the vegetable to be cooked properly. Means you should not add too much water that at the end you should waste that water, because that water contains all of the nutrients that are present in that vegetable that you are cooking. So this is very important, the usage of exact amount of water to prepare the food. And the last step is food should be stored properly, otherwise it goes bad due to germs and mold. And the preservation of food is very important. That if you are going to preserve the food, you should adopt a proper method. That first of all, you have to wash the food, and then you have put that food into the plastic cupboards, and then seal the plastic cover properly. So this is the proper way through which you can store the food, so that the germs and mold cannot attack to your food. Otherwise all your struggle will be all in vain. And the next topic that we are going to discuss today is the balanced diet, and the page number is 34. Here is the topic, balanced diet. So for good health, our diet should have all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities. Such a diet is called a balanced diet. So balanced diet, we can say a diet in which all nutrients should be present, and they should be present in right quantities that our body require. So such a diet is known as the balanced diet. And there are the classification of food, and we can classify the food into four main groups. And these groups, number one group is the meat and egg. Second group of food is fruits and vegetables. And the third group is breads and cereals. And the fourth group and the last one is dairy foods. So first classification of group, that is meat and egg. These are basically the source of proteins and fats. So protein and fats are the main components that are given by eggs and meat. So we should also include these meat and egg in our daily life. Fruits and vegetable is the second group, and they give us vitamins, minerals and carbohydrates. And we know that the carbohydrates are the instant source of energy in our body, and they are very important to our body, and our body requires energy to perform different kind of functions in our daily routine. So carbohydrates should be present in our diet. And vitamins and minerals, we also discussed that these are although required in very small quantities, but their absence in the food or diet can cause several dangerous diseases. So they should also be present in our diet. So for the presence of these carbohydrates, minerals and vitamins, we should also include fruits and vegetables in our diet. So third group is the breads and cereals. So bread and cereals, they give us carbohydrate and minerals, and they are also play a vital role to provide these type of nutrients to our body. So we should also include these into our diet. And the last one is the dairy foods. And dairy foods are the food that are related to milk and milk related products, such as yogurt, butter, cheese, etc. So dairy foods are a major source of proteins, fats and minerals. So that's why the dairy products or dairy food should also be a part of our diet. If we want to eat the balanced diet, so we should also include the at least one item each day in our diet if we want to uh, keep healthy. So for a balanced diet, we need to eat food from each group every day. And those who do not eat meat should eat more of the pulses and dairy food, which provide them with enough protein. So there are some people in the world, they don't like to eat the meat for somehow their religious activities, or for somehow their taste or interest. So if the person who are not utilizing the meat in their daily life, so there should be ultimately the efficiency of proteins, because the meat are the source of proteins, we can say the great source of proteins. And if you don't consume the meat, it means you do not take the proteins in your diet. So you should have to use or adopt and other some other item that can give you proteins. so it will be okay. So if you do not want to eat meat, so you should consume the pulses in your diet and the dairy food, because pulses and dairy food both are a great source of protein. So it does not affect that if you are not taking the meat in your diet. So if you are taking the pulses and dairy foods in your diet, so it will also accomplish the protein need into your body. This was all about the balanced diet, and the next is the preservation of food. That how can we preserve the food? So the food can be stored in the refrigerator for a few days. It can be preserved for long periods by dehydration, canning, freezing, salting, or sweetening. So salt and sugar are the preservatives. They prevent the food from getting spoiled, and other preservatives can also be added to food to prevent it from spoiling. So preservation means to store the food for a long period of time, but here is compulsory to note that long period of time, not for very long period of time. Okay, food can be stored in the refrigerator. Mostly fridges are used in our homes. Also, deep freezers are used in different kind of stores to preserve the food. But we should keep in mind that there is also a limitation for the preservation of food. We cannot preserve a food for a very long period of time, because as it got poisoned, because all the nutrients are vanished, and the food is more exposed to the germ attack. So that's why the preservation for long period of time is not very useful. So we can preserve the food for a limited period of time. And preservation, there are different methods that are adopted for the preservation of food. And the first one method is the dehydration, and dehydration mean is the removal of water from the food, that by drying the food. And we know that in the previous times, or long times ago, when there were no refrigerators, so meat is dried, different kind of vegetables are dried, the green leaves vegetables especially, such as the spinach, and these are the vegetables that were dried in the sunlight, and then they are stored. And similarly the meat was also dried, and nowadays it is also common to dry. And people in the rural areas also use these techniques of dehydration, that is the removal of water by using the sunlight. So this procedure is also used nowadays in rural areas, but in the cities it vanishes. So dehydration is the process through which the water of the vegetables is dried up, and then they can be used for a long period of time. Similarly, there is the canning. Canning is also a process by which the food such as pulses and beans especially, they are stored in the airtight containers, and because these containers are airtight, so no germs can enter into the food. But the canning is also has its expiry date, so keep in mind. So there is also a limited period of time by which you use the canned food. Next one is the freezing, and it is the most common method nowadays, that we use the freezers, refrigerators, and deep freezers. So these freeze the vegetables, and we can consume this freezing material later. And the next technique is the salting, and salting is a technique in which the salt is used to preserve. And there are not only salt, but also different spices such as the turmeric powder, and different kind of seeds are also used to preserve the things, such as the unripened mango, that is also known as kari in Urdu. This also preserved in the form of pickles. So if you use the pickles, that is commonly used as achar in our national language. We preserve the carrot, unripened potato. There are also different things, garlic. So these are the different things that we can preserve by salting, and there is another method, that is the sweetening, and sugar can also be used as the preservative, such as we can say that jams, these are also a type of preserved food, that you just mash the apple, mango or orange, and you just put the preservatives as well as sugar. So it also helps to store the food for longer duration of time, and in our mother language, that are the murabbas that we use. So these are also a kind of preserved food. So there are other chemicals which are also used as preservatives, and they help the food from the spoilage. So this was all about the today's lecture. Thanks for watching.